welcome to episode 3.5. we recorded this earlier and then had some audio difficulties, so had to start again. So hopefully this time we're good to go. I am Dashing Drew Rude. Look, we're our own producers, we're our own mixers. So if we have problems, that is why. I just have to say that, but if my brain seems like I'm like having
we're getting a good wave now, though. So.
Okay, we're good. Let me go ahead and do the intro then.
Again,
I'm Dashing Drew Rude, along with my magnificent. What did I say? Omnipotent co-host. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Chad Novinka.
And we're going to be talking about the greatest character of all time, dude, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Batman,
I mean,
the
really
Batman.
He's gone through so many transformations, but God, as a silhouette, just in general, black shape, pointed ears, you know who it is.
You know who it is.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, so
And, I think we're really going to talk about first Tim Burton Batman film and connections from there all the way through to the most recent release, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, we're not dissecting something.
No.
Like we've been doing in the past. We're trying to do like a general overview of the character and all content. So not just films. I do want to mention the video games as well.
Yeah.
Basically, Arkham games.
I mean, it's really what from our first experience with Batman to our most recent experience.
It was the Keaton movies, dude.
And that was the first thing I'd ever seen.
It was, because I remember being like, 6, 7, 5? I have no idea what the age was.
No,
I
was 4. I remember being 4 years old with the Batman toy.
We're the same age.
Yeah.
So 4, yeah. You had the Batmobile. I actually got a picture.
It came out, 89.
Yeah.
So we were 3.
So it had to have been like the next year we called it. That's dope.
Yeah.
Like being there for like the origin of the movies.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, both of us just watched the 1989 Batman Tim Burton movie over, and in the version of the, you know what? I have to say this before we even get started.
What?
Did you hear that noise I just did? That.
Yeah.
We got to stop doing that. I've actually had my boss, one of my old bosses, and like 2 or 3 people, I'm pretty sure, say, stop doing that in the microphone. So,
Can you guys do this?
Yeah. Well, we're going to work on that. I know that it's happening, and I'm going to try to stop doing it. I'm going to try to stop doing it. Second, before we get into it, I wanted to mention another podcast that I had just recently picked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's shit. I just did it again. It's a bad habit. I'm gonna work on it. Anyway, the podcast is called Broadcasters or Broadcast from the Basement. I can't remember. I think it's Broadcast from the Basement, and they're pretty much me and Chad, like just in another state somewhere. They talk about the same shit. They actually mentioned they were talking about in their first episode Star Wars, right?
Yeah,
and they were talking about the. Pod Racer game. You remember Pod Racer for N64?
Yeah, I fucking hated it.
Oh my god!
I think
you're out of your mind, dude.
It's a terrible fucking game.
Okay,
I thought the whole pod racing scene was the worst part of the movie, and I can never understand why everyone's like, "Oh, it's the best part of that movie." It's not the best part of that fucking movie.
Why did you have to? Okay, well,
anyways,
that's his opinion. My opinion is I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
and they got into it. So I listened to a bunch of their stuff, and they're great. So I wanted to drop them a line because I said I would, and so that's that.
Cool.
Now we can get into Batman. Okay, so Keaton, we were talking about what? The first shot, right? You said it better than I could.
Oh, well, the first time you see Batman in Tim Burton's Batman, 1989, he's animated. It's a cartoon. It's drawn onto cell from a top-down view. Great cape. It's all black. But it just looks amazing. But I'd never realized that until
I wonder
just
why they
watching
did that. What do you think, like, the artistic reason behind doing that?
Well, it's just like how nowadays, if you saw Batman perched upon a tower in Gotham or something, they would probably be CGI. They didn't do that back then. It was 1989. I mean, you got to remember, the first really good CGI was Jurassic Park. That was still 4 or 5 years away from then.
Yeah.
So,
well, I enjoyed it, man. But I really think and I said this to you yesterday, and I want to say it on the show. We try not to talk about the shows and stuff now beforehand, because we find if you just go over it once, you get better.
Well, you lose some of your best
material.
material.
You lose some of the good material.
Yeah.
So what I told him yesterday was, it reminds me, or it makes me think of the fact that Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton were put in a movie that they didn't know was supposed to be goofy. So they're going hard into the role.
Oh,
but
Nicholson kills it,
that's
though.
what makes it work, though, dude. That's why it's so good. It's got that comic booky kind of feel to it, but you've got serious, hard actors giving a serious performance. It wasn't fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, chill out.
Chill out.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, that wasn't there. It was Michael Keaton being hard, serious, and Jack was just ridiculously good.
So you want to talk about Keaton and Jack for a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What do you like in the scope of all the Batmans? Like, shit, we can get serious real quick. Which one was your favorite? Who portrayed him best?
Honestly,
On a screen.
we're
We're not counting Kevin Conroy, and we're not counting...
Kevin Conroy is one of the best Batman.
I know.
That's just like Mark Hamill.
But
one of the best
I
Jokers.
want, like... Right, exactly. But I want actual, like, people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't compare Hamill to Nicholson and... Like,
Keaton's the first that I ever saw. So to me, like the way he kind of just like had that over analyzing look in his eye, where he'd look at someone and go, "This guy's full of shit." You know,
Yeah.
he kind of had like this a cool man's type of view. He doesn't look like Batman really. He's got a good chin. He fits
You know
the
what?
cowl well. I honestly think one of the best Batmans I've ever seen is Ben Affleck.
You know what? You know what I'm going to say to you?
And I want to see him in a standalone movie.
I was going to say this the same fucking thing.
Yeah. It's
Like,
insane.
when I was driving over here, I was thinking about what I was going to say about it. And I don't like what they did with the character in the hold on, in the terms of the fact that he was just wasting people.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, and like
using
real
guns and shit.
cool
He had, like,
Batman.
a Gatling gun. But now I was told that there was I haven't read it, but I was told that there's a series by Frank Miller called Batman Returns, and he's very similar to that. Like, he's just like, fuck it,
The Dark Knight Returns stuff.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, and he's just like doesn't give a shit anymore, and he's just like taking people out. So that's fine, but.
Hey, can we just say that we're totally going to spoil Batman vs Superman if you haven't seen it?
Yeah.
You just saw it today. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, I literally came from the theater to here to do this.
Yeah.
But
if you want to watch it, you don't want us to ruin anything, we're going to fucking ruin it.
So your answer is Affleck.
Yeah, man. He's fucking...
He is pretty good, isn't he? You know what sucks, though?
You know what it is? Okay, so I just watched Man of Steel for the first time Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
That next day, I went and saw Batman in the morning. And the first thing you see of Batman is Bruce Wayne, and he's rushing out of that helicopter. And Affleck jumps out of that fucking helicopter while it's running, and he's just, you can see that look in his face. He looks like Batman, like, what's happening what's happening? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And from the moment you see Bruce Wayne, I'm like, you just knew you're in for a little bit of a treat. It might not be the greatest movie ever, but...
Yeah, you know what? We might as well just get into it because that's what's fresh in our mind.
You want to just get into Batman vs. Superman?
Let's get that out of the way because it's kind of like the elephant in the room.
Okay. Just talk
Like
about
you
it. Let's
said,
review it a little bit.
I like Affleck. I like him. And you know what? I feel so good about it because I remember all the shit that Ledger got before Dark Knight came out.
Oh, I remember that
If you
too.
read some of the comments, they're like, worst casting ever. What a fucking dumb idea.
And I remember the same thing with Ben Affleck here. And I remember thinking, like, looking at him like, yo, he looks like Batman. So I
said
don't know.
to myself, I said, don't be a fucking, like, crumb.
Yeah.
Don't throw him all out the window. Just chill out. And he did great. And I think, and here's what this is what sucks. It's obviously not as good as a film like The Dark Knight. It's not. But I hate this because this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you. They're going to give him a shitty rap because they don't like the movie in general.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that movie is any worse than the Marvel Avengers movies or anything like that. I honestly just believe that some critics are in the pockets of Big Mouse.
I mean, that's possible.
That's
possible. I don't know.
It's no better. They give those Avengers movies like fucking 9s and 8s. You know, you see them across the board at all the ratings websites, and then I see Batman is like solid 7.8, almost an 8, and people are like, oh, it's not very good. That's almost an 8. That's what I got in high school.
Since when is a B+ garbage?
Yeah, you know, they're like, oh, it's fucking garbage. Like it's comic booky. It's not like Nolan's Batman where it's based more in realism.
I have a friend that's like super into the comic book series. I only read the New 52, but he was like, he's all about like all the shit from the 90s, 80s, whatever.
Yeah, I've read
and
some
he told me
stuff.
the only thing he didn't agree with
in Dawn of Justice here.
Yeah, was that they apparently took elements from a shit ton of different storylines and smashed them together, which confused him. But here's the thing, dude. And here's I got to say this though.
You're at DC's heel. When you make a movie like that, you don't get to do whatever the fuck you want.
But check this out. Tell me how brilliant Disney is now for wiping out the expanded universe
For Star Wars?
Yeah,
of course.
so that nobody can like shit on them.
And
if that's not what the story. What it doesn't matter.
And if they want to, they can just go in there and steal.
And they
from
can
it.
steal it, and they can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
You obviously can't do that with this movie because they're primarily a comic book company.
Well, it was almost like they kind of took Nolan's storyline into account. Because he said something about a dirty, like somebody taking a dirty bomb.
Yeah,
in your city hostage with the dirty bomb, and I was like, "What's that about?" Was he talking about Bane? Like,
You know what though? He also if you listen to the score, I'm a huge music person.
Yeah.
They had Superman's theme all day. That shit I was playing outside yesterday had it all day in that movie.
Yeah,
but it seemed like they couldn't use the Nolan music. But a lot of the action scenes with Batman in it,
weird because it's produced by Nolan. It's written by David S. Goyer. Like,
I don't know why they couldn't use it. But if you listen to the scores when Batman's action scenes are there, they're just heavy, heavy drums. It's the same. It's the same fucking thing as Nolan.
Dude, I'll tell you about it was kind of cheesy, but when Wonder Woman comes on screen and she's got that Amazonian bass, like the drums going, it was the best.
You know what's really funny?
I loved it.
The girl I went with, she goes like this. As soon as she came out, she goes like this. Like,
of course, it was very like a smack in the head. This is corny as shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a comic book. It's a comic book movie. We're not watching like. You know what? David Lynch's Blue Velvet. Like, we're not watching these masterpiece films. Like, it's a fucking comic book that's been around for 70, 80, almost 100 years. It's just a part of a life, so people feel like they own it somehow.
I feel like people are like 10,000 times more critical on these type of movies than they are anything else. I could release something that was completely original, and I would have like...
And if it was the same exact storyline, and it was shot the same way, and very similar cinematography and script, it would be heralded as a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah. But because you're using characters people perceive, like you said, to be theirs, they feel like they have to just destroy it when somebody... And here's another thing that I can't stand.
What?
People are like, well, he's nothing like the books. What book?
Which one are you talking about?
There's like 5,000 different Marvel
You're talking
worlds.
75 years of consistent Batman material once a month. Probably more than that. There's probably about 4 or 5 Batman comics going on right now.
That's what I'm saying.
5 different storylines going on right now. You can't say that. It's just not... I don't know. It's an entitlement, man. People think they are entitled to whatever the fuck they want because... they put money into the art. It's like, that's great, man. Put money in the art because it helps art grow, but you didn't create the art. You don't get to dictate how the art goes. You didn't get to dictate it before you heard about it. Now, all of a sudden, you've become a fan. You feel like you are owed your due.
If you want to look at it like this, if you're looking at it on a scope of realism, which I know a lot of people do, it was completely off the wall.
It was completely off the wall.
I have some heartbreaking news, though. So is fucking Age of Ultron. So is picking up a big chunk of the earth and then dropping it down. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I haven't seen those movies. Personally, I don't think those are good movies. I don't think the Marvel Disney like films are. I understand that.
But I'm not a mark.
And they're not terrible, and they're watchable. But I think most of the Marvel Disney films die at the second act, whereas these DC films, especially with Man of Steel and Dawn of Justice, I refuse to call it Batman vs Superman. That was only tacked on in there to sell tickets. It should have just been called Dawn of Justice. Their third acts are the best parts a lot of the times. Man of Steel, it's this fucking fight with Zod that just goes on and on, you know? And with this one, it's the Doomsday comes out, and even before Doomsday, I mean, a lot of the scripting, like story, like why Batman and Superman even fight are stupid. I thought it was fucking dumb.
I was confused. Well, I have to say this. That I was a little
confused a lot of the story.
Well, not only was it confusing, I was also a little bit drunk. So I'm watching it a little bit drunk. I was sitting forward as if I'm at home.
I was in a very analytical mood.
You were?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that there was some kryptonite somewhere, and I knew that Lex had it. Basically what I got out of it was Lex was trying to pick a fight. And I don't know why he was doing it. Like, I don't understand what his motivation was for pissing them off.
Yeah, the whole movie felt rushed. They've tried to pack too much into one flick.
I feel like he wasn't even...
The characters weren't explored enough. They weren't built up enough.
Well, it's not that. I feel like he wasn't necessary to the movie. Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Because why couldn't you just have Bruce Wayne be pissed off that Superman just blew up half of Metropolis and Man of Steel and be mad about it? Like that, he kind of...
DC is playing catch up with Disney right now.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's what it felt like.
And instead of like maybe taking a step back and going, you know, maybe we shouldn't shoehorn this scene of Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman in here.
Oh,
they
God.
really shoehorned that in.
Yeah,
it was kind of cool, but it wasn't done in a very organic way.
No, it really felt like a character select screen. Who do you want to play with? Aquaman.
It did.
The Flash.
Yeah, and it's just kind of showing you them. I thought the better part of the Flash was when he comes when Bruce is sitting there and he's dreaming. He's having that really lucid dream, and then he wakes up and the Flash is right in front of him, and he's like shaking and everything, and he's going, "Bruce, you were right all along." And then he stops and looks at him and goes,
oh shit.
Oh, am I too early? I'm too early. Oh no. And then you're wondering, like, is he talking about Superman or is he talking about like Darkseid or something like that? You know, it's I can't wait. I personally think that DC story and DC comics in general, when it gets into the story, is always better than Marvel. Where Marvel is... when Marvel got bought by Disney, I understood that because Disney has that family aesthetic to it at all times. And Marvel, for the most part, has that. Where DC doesn't. They never tried to make villains that even little kids can like. DC villains are terrible, terrible fucking things that...
Yeah, they're not very marketable.
No, they're not. Like, and costume-wise, it's not as marketable. I don't think... Like, Batman's very marketable, but I think Superman's costume is the stupidest thing in the world.
What, in the new movie?
Just in general. Like the giant S. And I know they try to like talk that out. Like, oh, it's a symbol of hope. Blah, 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 blah. I'd rather just see... I don't know, some dude not with a fucking S on his chest. Like with Batman, it makes sense because he's a man that made his costume. Superman's like an alien from another world.
But let me just tell you this. I want you to imagine the backlash you would get if you put Superman in a movie without that fucking S on his chest.
I'm not saying maybe the colors or the cape. It can be done. You can do whatever you want. I get it. You're right, and you're right.
Yeah, you would get crushed.
Yeah.
And that's why no one touches it.
But maybe more people would go because Superman doesn't sell all that well. Not as well as Batman.
Well, Batman's a shit, man.
Because he's a man. Well, Superman's problem with Superman's story is Superman gets good when he's with other characters, when he's in Final Crisis type stuff. And Superman's story is good when he goes, I don't want to help. And then people are either telling him to help or not to help because he's going to kill people. When it becomes that really existential, like, what am I? What's my purpose in life type of stuff.
Dude, I think I've always like been drawn to Batman.
Of course, he's way better.
But the reason is
the fucking glass.
The reason is he doesn't have to do what he's doing.
No.
That's the best part. Well, I know, I agree with that, but here's the thing. He's a man, so he's more relatable.
Yeah.
Right? He's got every fucking thing you could want.
Yeah.
Right? Millions of dollars. Looks
you ever hear the joke, what's Batman's superpower? White privilege.
Oh my God. I haven't heard that. And I wish I hadn't. And anyway,
whatever.
He's got all this shit, right?
Yeah.
why does he sacrifice his personal life?
Because his parents got killed.
I know, but
he wouldn't give a shit if his parents got killed. He'd just be an asshole if his parents were still alive.
Well, I mean, you could say that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really don't want to go down that road.
No. No, I mean, not but that's what makes the character.
Yeah, and that's so badass.
You have to deal with
and
that.
the part of the reason why I got pissed off because he was killing people in the new one.
Yeah,
was
branding them and stuff.
Yeah,
it was like a little
well,
intense.
it was because it's like that's his deal. That's his stick. Like, he doesn't kill people because he puts the cape on because he doesn't want to see somebody else feel what he felt. Mm-hmm. In this movie, he's cranking grenades and throwing it. And I'm like,
he killed at least 10 people in this movie.
I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck?
I did the kill count for him. He killed a few people.
And I'm thinking, what the fuck are you even doing this for,
Yeah.
then? Like, if you're just murdering people now, like, just quit. Like, just get out of here. Like, that's how I felt about it. But I don't know.
No,
and then he
you're
kind
right.
of felt kind of useless towards the end, which was a little weird. He just shoots that little Krypton bomb, like, out of nowhere. He's like, pshoot!
Those little gas grenades. No, I loved it because when Doomsday was doing his little like ray vision shockwave, Soups and Wonder Woman are just like standing there and they're taking the brunt, and Bruce like dives behind a big chunk of metal and just like hides. He's like, oh shit.
The badass part, I think, when she rushed Doomsday, and then you hear like in the background you hear this, and here comes fucking Superman, and he like owns Doomsday. That shit was crazy.
I love the pop when Superman like arrives.
Yeah.
His sound
Takes
barrier.
off.
Yeah.
And you know what I got confused about though, because I like Superman, but I'm not like obsessed. He was like a fucking corpse out there in the sun, and I was like, what the?
Yeah, he looked like Bizarro Superman. I like that.
And then
he gets the rays.
and then the sun hits him, and he turns. I was like, what the fuck was? And I remember, I was like, oh yeah, he's supposed to get his power from the sun.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh okay.
You know,
Go
on.
I was just say when I was watching it, he just seemed I didn't understand that. Like I was thinking, like if no one really talks about that, at least that I know of. So if you're not like moderately familiar with the character,
They don't
that might have
talk
been
about it in that
very
movie at all.
confusing.
They talk about it a lot in Man of Steel, though.
The sun thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in like a year.
Yeah. And I hadn't even seen it until recently.
Oh, anyway, so that's your answer is Affleck. I think I have to agree with you, dude.
Yeah. He's really good. Like
I'm scared.
Nolan's
Look at the email
Batmans are
tomorrow.
really good. But I don't think Christian Bale's a very good Batman.
Christian, I feel like
I think he's a good actor.
I feel
And-
like he took the dark part of Batman to a level that was slightly too high, if that makes sense. So Keaton, it looked
Keaton
like
kind of had the fun of him. He kind of had the pompous, I'm a
that's
smart
what he's supposed
motherfucker.
to be.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that's not what he's supposed to
And
be.
I think
but-
the fact that he couldn't move his neck in the costume kind of adds to it. Because when he moves his shoulders, it's like his whole body moves. He's just kind of like, I'm here. Blah, blah.
well, I mean, it was campy, it was comic booky.
It was
but
a
you know
little
what?
campy.
That's what's great, though. Like I said before, their portrayals
Yeah.
drove it home.
Something else I'd like to say about Dawn of Justice. There's too much action. A lot of the action is forced, like when the Batmobile is driving around, or I feel like, it's that thing of, let's try to sell some toys.
Batmobile, fucking damn! I don't even remember the
When you
Batmobile.
first see the Batmobile, really.
Is that bad, dude?
What?
I don't even remember it being in the movie.
Yeah, and then Superman shows up and he's like, you need to stop, blah, blah, blah. And
Jesus, I must have passed out.
And then Affleck's like, do you bleed? Because I'll make you bleed. Or something like that. It was great. I loved it. I like the way he... I think the whole movie was just... it could have been more dialogue and I would have enjoyed it more. That's, because you're forgetting that comic books aren't action.
You know what I'll say?
You get
Sorry.
pages and pages of dialogue, and then maybe 2 splash pages of Batman punching somebody, and then pages and pages and pages and pages of dialogue, and then maybe another splash page of Batman punching someone in the face. There really isn't that much action in comic books, and that's one of the things I hate about all these comic book movies. It's never about the characters anymore.
Well, it's mainstream, dude.
Yeah.
It's mainstream. Like, if you want to go like heavy dialogue, a lot of people are going to be like, I saw somebody do an interview a long time ago, and it's really funny. He's like, when he saw Dark Knight Rises, he's like, I thought I went to a Batman movie. Instead, I went to a movie about Christian Bale on Wall Street. Like, he was just pissed because he wasn't Batman most of the time. Most people just don't care.
Most
They
people
wanna
don't
see-
realize that's a Batman comic.
Yeah,
It's Bruce Wayne
but
most of the time.
But most people want to see him blowing shit up and fighting, and that's what
I don't know.
sadly-
Write your own Batman movie.
Huh?
That's what I tell
I mean,
people.
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's just the way that people feel.
Yeah, but it's just weird that that's what they think because that's not what Batman is.
Well, how many? Look, I wish we had I really wish we had like an audience or something, because I'd be like, with a show of hands, how many of you have actually read 5 Batman comic books cover to cover? I guarantee you there might be about 2 or 3 hands that go up in a group of like 200 people.
It's true. I mean, you're going to hit a bigger audience with the silver screen than you can with the printed page.
That's a shame, because they don't know what they're missing. There's so many times.
Some great stuff, even bad Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Go on.
There's so many times where I flipped through comic books and finished it, and it was just like, or a Batman comic book, and we looked at it and was like, holy fuck, that was awesome.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, it is one of my favorite ones, is the 0 issue of the New 52 for, I think it's Detective Comics, not Batman.
Which one, though? Because when they started the New 52, there was like 5 different Batmans going
Detective
on.
Comics.
That's not like the Court of Owls storyline, though, is it?
The what?
See, you don't even know what I'm talking about, so then no.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
The Court of Owls, like night.
Oh yeah, no, that is
That's the detective.
No, that's Batman.
That's just Batman.
Yeah. But he like came from Detective Comics, where he spawned from.
Oh, I know that.
So that's why I picked it to start reading.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And the 0 issue, and I have Batman now. I didn't start that till like issue like 30, so that was like way into it. But yeah, I saw the Court of Owls and all that stuff. But it was like a lesson where and this explains why he is the way he is. He's getting trained, he's like getting trained in the mountains and all that bullshit, right? And the whole time he's living with this old, like, kung fu master or something. It sounds stupid. But
no, it sounds.
But
like
that's what he was doing.
Batman.
Yeah, he's living with this dude. He's training, whatever. And the whole time, this dude was like, "Don't trust anybody. Don't open yourself to anybody," and all this bullshit. And he was like, yeah. Well, there was this girl from the village or something that he was at. And
was it Talia?
I can't remember her name. It's been so long since I read it. So she's like hanging around him, talking to him, and he just like is real distant. And eventually, they don't explain how, but all these fucking like ninja weirdos come in and try to kill the sensei, right? And he's fighting them off. Sensei gets stabbed. And then there's one last ninja. He's fighting it, and then it ends up being the girl, right? And she had like, they show you a scene where she had like reported where he was and all this bullshit to kill this guy. And he's just like destroyed, because he's like, fuck, like this is the one person I trusted. They went like in the fucking fields, hanging out, like having picnics and shit.
Like intimate conversations.
Yeah, they showed them like page after page hanging out and having good conversations.
Yeah.
And she just blatantly screwed him. So his master, this guy that he cares about now, is sitting there dying.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Let this be your final lesson," and then just dies. That shit is so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
And there's so many books. There's like 15 of them I could just roll off just like that, where they do stuff like that you're never going to see. Is it better now? We're having audio problems.
Sorry, I don't know, you weren't close enough to the mic.
Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff that I like about the character.
Yeah.
I kind of went off on a tangent there. I don't know where that came from.
It's Batman.
Oh, it's the
man.
stories.
We're just talking about Batman. Who gives a shit?
Well, I mean, like, I was trying to think about in what context was I telling you, but those are the kind of stories that you get out of the books, and that's why this is in defense of the people that complain about the movies. Is there's so much good shit in them that it kind of is disappointing to go in there and see them just throw it out the window to have a gigantic boxing match.
Yeah.
So that happened to me with Walking Dead. When I was watching it, well, I know you don't like that show, but anybody that watches it, I'll give you an example. The whole governor thing, like, they had this huge, deep reason for how that story ended. I just don't want to ruin it for anybody. But they threw it out the window, excuse me, for a fucking fist fight. Like, if you watch the show. And it's like, what? And that's why I stopped watching.
Well,
it.
Shit, man. Rick still has his fucking hand, so I don't.
Yeah,
give a
yeah.
shit.
Like they change stuff. And
Like, I didn't even.
But then,
I feel like there's a real cop out.
To defend, it's like everybody's got their side to defend, and there's really no way to stay on it. So I would just try to just fucking enjoy the movies. Like, stop getting so analytical.
What?
I was just telling you, I'm out of things to say. I was trying to like
you got
hand gesture him to take over, and he just looks at me.
But I'm like staring here looking at the waveform, and I don't know if I'm too loud or whatever. Who cares?
I think I'm fine. This is a part of that unedited bullshit we're telling you about, but this is like exactly where I've been the entire time.
Yeah, once we get some like
it may look
I'd be able to hear myself, some earpieces and something.
Yeah, we don't even use headphones.
Yeah, we're just like straight talking, so I have no idea what I sound like right now. It looks like it's spiking out at some points, but that's just because I get loud anyways.
Yeah,
annoying motherfucker. Let's see. So we can talk about Batman, Superman there, Michael Keaton. We didn't really talk about Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah.
Perfection. Everything about it to me is just perfect from the beginnings of even before he's Joker and he's Jack Napier, and it's just, man, that scene when he comes into the art gallery. And,
oh shit! And he's like dancing around,
and they're dancing and playing that song, and it's like the best part is that song is totally about fucking. Like the lyrics are like, "Let me make you come" and all this stuff, and it's in a PG movie, and it's kind of out of place. And I didn't, as a child, never noticed that. But the other day when I was watching it, I was watching the movie with the subtitles on, just to like catch up on little things, and they're putting the lyrics across the screen, and I'm thinking, what is this song that's playing right now in this Batman film? And they're just painting over stuff, and he looks at a picture of Abe Lincoln with a beard, he just goes, he needs a shave. Then moves on, and then they stop at some painting, and it's like kind of grotesque looking, and he just says, "Oh, keep that, I like it." And then he just goes along, and Vicky Valance has a line, "You're psychotic." And Jack, without missing a beat, just goes, "Oh, that's funny. I thought it was a Pisces."
Yeah. I remember that line. That shit's great. There's a lot of good lines in that movie. One I wanted to mention was...
He just has this way of laughing and dancing around.
I love the line, and this is... I can't remember the fucker's name. I should have looked it up. He's the male reporter. And he says, he's like, you know why he's so odd? And they're like, and Vicky just like looks at me. He's like, because he can afford to be. Yeah, that shit's so great, dude. It's so fucking great. And they've got who else is in there? What is the fucking guy's name?
Who?
Why don't they have
Billy D. Williams? They got Lando.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what?
Wouldn't you just love to have seen Billy D. Williams as Two-Face? Like in a third Tim Burton film.
That would have been
great.
I feel like he would have ended up looking like some twisted version of Sweeney Todd, though. Like they would have done his hair crazy as hell with a weird streak in it.
But I think it would have been really cool. A really bright purple green face. And, hey,
dude,
I'm Billy D. I'm Harvey Dent. Ooh.
I hope to God he wouldn't say something.
Oh, I would love it.
Do you want to mention the two the two movies in the corner we haven't even touched?
Which one? Batman Returns?
No, go shit.
I don't like Batman Returns.
I'm talking about Forever and whatever the hell the other.
Well, let me talk about Batman Returns first of all.
Why don't you like it, dude? Michelle Pfeiffer? What's her name?
Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman. Dude. I mean, I think Michelle Pfeiffer. No, I don't know. Michelle Pfeiffer. I never really understood the fascination with Michelle Pfeiffer to begin with, but. So I'll just skip over that. But Danny DeVito is a penguin. Perfect.
I won't let him skip over that.
But the movie itself, it's just a more cartoony and goofy, like the penguins with laser beams on their back, and there's a lot of like Coca-Cola signs. It's a very the surprise takeaway success of Tim Burton's first Batman film shows in the second one, when the second one is just like a marketing. It's let's see how many Batmans we can make. Let's see how many toys we can sell, and that carries on over into Forever and Batman Returns. And I actually don't hate Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I remember him being Bruce Wayne, dude. Sorry, I think I was causing audio disturbance. Doesn't matter. Just let it roll. It's not edited. Let it roll. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
No, but with like Val Kilmer's, when it gets into like 5 different suited Batman and they're like 4 different suited villains, and they just like
who I did like?
try to make as many fucking toys as possible.
What is the guy who plays Robin? What's his name?
Oh, Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, he was
fucking
good.
great as
He was.
Robin, dude.
You know, and I think he gets a lot of slack for those movies too, where they're just like, oh, he was a throwaway character, but he was cool. You know, he played Robin all right. You know,
I saw a picture that somebody made online of him as Nightwing, and it was fucking awesome.
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, they could do a night, dude. They could do it with with Chris O'Donnell. They could do it with I'm gonna get his name.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get that, but yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt would be great.
I think he would have been a great Robin.
They set it up if they wanted to do it.
I thought that was kind of dumb the way they said it. That's why another reason I don't like Dark Knight. Can we talk about those movies? Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
Can we talk about how much I don't like Dark Knight Rises?
Go ahead. I mean, this is an unscripted show.
Number one, the title. You go from a movie called Batman Begins. You know, nice little alliteration there. Great title. Second movie in the trilogy, The Dark Knight. Great. Awesome. The third rise in the trilogy, no pun intended, Dark Knight Rises. You just slap the word rises onto the end piece of one of the most successful comic book movies ever fucking made. It feels forced. I mean, you could have called it...
So you just got a bone to pick with
Could have called it Cape Crusader. You could have called it anything. People would have went and saw it. That's not what else I have to do with it. I don't think the movie should have been made.
You think
I think because Heath Ledger died, it completely changed what the third movie could have been. With specifically, I think the best part of The Dark Knight Rises is the kangaroo court that they get going on, and you think of that scene. Think of that scene. You've got the Scarecrow as the judge, and everybody's like, "We're not gonna be a part of this," and he goes, "Oh, don't worry, we've got you a lawyer." And out comes the Joker.
Yeah.
Flipping pages, people stumbling around. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
The whole movie would have been perfect because it would have got to the end and the Joker would have fucked over Bane and looked at Batman and goes, "Hey buddy, see you later."
Yeah, they could have done something more with it, but you can't blame a guy for dying though.
No, I can't blame a guy for dying. That's not it at all, and I don't. But it just the movie starts off really strong and then it kind of fizzles.
Weren't they planning on using him anyway?
Who?
Ledger, like in the next movie,
of course heavily? They were. Do you think they wouldn't have? They would have used him all. He would have been the main focus.
Yeah,
it would have kind of continued into the next movie more.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much why you got what you got, I think.
No, it is. You got what you got because he died. So that's be a lesson to you folks out there. Don't do opiates. It's my PSA for the day. It fucks everybody over. You look how many actors it's fucked movies over for. People have died and not been able to finish movies, and it's made movies worse. Anybody who does, for the most part, that does opiates are very selfish motherfuckers.
You know what I think is very dangerous?
What?
Is the alcohol and narcotics combination.
Well, yeah. But, alcohol
I can't remember. It's been a while since that happened,
okay.
But I'm pretty sure I don't want to smear, I don't know what the circumstances were, but I think both were involved.
No, man, I don't remember. I just know he was on a lot of medication. It sucks.
It
sucks, man. He's a great actor, and
you know what, dude? I remember watching those Oscars, and I was ready to riot if they didn't give that shit to him.
Oh, I don't really care about the Oscars.
I know you don't, but I was, because they have probably one of the best performances of all time in their hands, and I really didn't want to see him flounder.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's Batman.
How about this? Let's go into his
comic book. But if it was Shakespeare and it was someone giving a perfect performance in a Shakespeare film, and they go, "Oh, that's art. That's art." Nolan's trilogy was the Shakespeare of Batman films. It was well acted. It's the most serious. It really took more into the story and a lot of dialogue. That's how I feel.
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that Ledger was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I remember that being what I was thinking when I came out of there. And it was not because I had any prior conceptions of the character. I went in there thinking, let's see what he's got.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going to Batman Begins and thinking, oh, here comes another shitty fucking Batman movie. I don't want to fucking see that's not going to even come close to the 89 Batman. And I was blown away.
What do you think about Liam?
Liam Neeson?
Yeah, in that movie.
I mean, I think he's pretty throwaway.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think the final act of Batman Begins kind of peters off after Scarecrow kind of disappears. I think Scarecrow's a better villain. He works with Batman. He works with Batman's fears more.
Weird. That was kind of weird. They didn't really feature him.
And I think that was one of the reasons he wasn't as featured in the third one.
I think the reason they weren't featured, or he wasn't, was because
I love that he's in the second one. I think that's amazing how he kept the.
He can't really fight though.
No, he can't.
That's the problem.
He needs the fear gas.
Huh?
He needs the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they used that mechanism early in the film, and I don't think they wanted to do it
And
again.
they didn't want to keep using it. You know?
Yeah.
No, I completely understand.
Because didn't he like trap in an apartment, and that's how he got out?
I don't remember.
I think he does. I think he walks into like a building, and then he's just out of nowhere and blasts him in the face.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and he sets the building on fire.
Yeah, and like freaks out on him. But dude,
But Scarecrow's always been one of my favorite
that
Batman villains.
he
so.
sees though when he gets hit with his own gas, is intense,
great.
dude.
And you notice they kind of showed that same thing again in Dawn of Justice when Bruce was having dreams and like the Batman comes through the wall at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very similar.
How about the Tumbler? What do you think of that?
In
The Tumbler is the only
in
one
the new
in
the new Batman movie because they kind of tried to do a Tumbler in the new Dawn of Justice.
The actual like.
Before we say that, the Dawn of Justice Batman movie, I didn't like it. It was just trying to base off the Tumbler, and I didn't think it was a new enough idea. I didn't
It looked like they tried to combine the old look, with the new look, is what it looked like.
And
And it ended up
weird.
looking kind of just more like the new one, because of all the plating.
The Tumbler. I remember when it first debuted that I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good idea. I was once again, it's let's try to make this character more realistic. No one's gonna drive around the city in a fucking like stretch limo type vehicle with giant bat wings on the side. It's just goofy.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so you try to give it a little more believability to it, and I thought that was really cool. I could have done without the bat jet in the third one or whatever.
Oh yeah, that weird looking Lotus thing.
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
I mean, it was cool looking, but it's just it was there to sell toys.
It did kind of feel that way.
Yeah. Same with the motorcycle in the second one. That's something I really don't like about Dark Knight is the bat pod,
like the wheel thing that came.
The
off
bat
of it.
pod. I didn't like that. I think it was
two of my favorite lines from those movies came from when they first introduced the Tumbler,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy's like. He's like, what's he driving? He's in a black tank.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, well, what street is he on? He's like, he's not on a street. He's jumping around on rooftops.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine hearing that over the radio?
Metal Gear going through the city.
You'd be like, what the fuck is... Like, if you've never heard that, and I like how they played off of that in the third movie.
Yeah.
When he's like, they knew he was coming back, and like all the lights shut off or whatever, and the cop goes, oh, shit, son. He's like, you're in for a good show today.
Yeah. Because they know. And
because they know it's about to be crazy as shit.
I mean, you know, as real as Batman can get. Like,
yeah.
They would have obviously caught him in real life. But
the only thing I really felt that was over the top in Rises, I didn't mind it. I just felt that it was too long. I felt like it really... Once he's sitting in the prison, and I understand the point they're trying to make, but it felt so long for him to get back that I kind of fell out of what was happening. And then I enjoyed the whole the idea of getting fear back.
They could have put that prison in Gotham City.
Oh, easily.
You know, something similar to it or something.
Yeah, like they're setting off bombs every damn day. They could have just said they just threw a bunch of people in a hole.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they had to like drag them out there and, you know.
Exactly. That seemed a little much. Didn't need to happen. But besides that, the Nolan films are pretty damn good. Great cinematography.
I would say if I had to pick, well, of course, if I had to pick one, it's going to be Dark Knight. But if you're looking at series, it's still on top. Considering the story and character portrayal, and character portrayal is put up top because you got to knock Ledger off, and that ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I love Jack, and I wish what they could do is combine the two. I was telling you that earlier. Like, give him that psychopathic, like...
When you feel that's what, what's his face is...
I wanted some of the grunge from
what's his
Ledger.
name?
Leto, yeah, that's what I
feel like that's what Leto's going to be.
Feels like he's going to be that grungy, nasty, like...
I'm actually excited for Suicide Squad now. Yeah. I wasn't beforehand. Now after Dawn of Justice, I am.
It's like, think about this. Oh yeah, to see him interact with Affleck will be fucking amazing.
Just in general, just see more of this DC universe stuff. I'm much more interested in the DC universe than Marvel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I've seen you
except for X-Men.
Oh yeah.
Even even the crappy X-Men movies, I love them. It's X-Men. X-Men's cool. Always have.
I sense a bias in your tone.
I think Wolverine's one of the best characters ever created.
Oh yes, for sure. You know, it's a great fucking scene, and it's like nothing. It means nothing to nobody, but I was just like completely enthralled by it.
What?
Was I think it is it's the intro to Wolverine Origins or X-Men Origins Wolverine, whatever the fuck that movie was.
The shitty one or the second one?
It was like his first one-off.
Yeah. I haven't seen the second one still.
You'll recognize it when I describe it. It's showing Wolverine, and he's like in the fucking Revolutionary War. And then he's in
Vietnam,
War
and he
I,
looks just
World
like
War
Solid
II.
Snake.
Yeah, Vietnam. But he's in all these fucking wars, and it's just like, holy shit, this guy's like a machine.
Yeah. That was the scene that like solidified
Solid Snake, dude.
me wanting Hugh Jackman to play Big Boss Solid Snake for a Metal Gear movie.
What did it for me was, what was the future one? Days of Futures Past? When he walks out of the fucking drop ship or whatever it is, and he's got the cigar in his mouth, and he's in that fucking like Metal Gear Solid 4 suit.
Yeah.
Like, that was fucking Snake, dude. Like, that was it.
It's a shame.
And it sucks, man, because he had the youth back in the day. He was 30 something when they did the first X-Men.
Yeah.
He could have done.
He looks better now, though.
Yeah.
Dude's in fucking
But he's
crazy
he
jack
looks
shape.
older.
Yeah, I think he said that this next X-Men movie he's going to do like this and then one more standoff Wolverine.
Yes.
Standalone.
I mean, how many years has he been doing it, though? He's almost 50. He's
Since
been
we were
doing it
fucking
for 20 years, dude.
Yeah.
That's a long fucking time.
He's been
to play
Wolverine
one
a
character.
long time, man. But he was just so perfect. He played it so
you
well.
don't want to
He
give
wasn't
him
like
up.
short and stocky like when you think of Wolverine, but
He is pretty big. He's like 6'3".
yeah, he's tall guy.
You know what? That really
He
does
just
suck.
plays it
When you think about it, though, it's like what I love about his character is that spunky motherfucker will take on the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he's like 5'4".
Yeah.
And he's just a fucking whirlwind of death and blades, dude. Like, Wolverine is great. Now we should have named this Wolverine. Dude, maybe we could do that. That'll be one of the shows.
I
Like
don't
an extra or something.
maybe. I don't think there's enough.
Okay, hey,
Wolverine
how
has
about
been
this?
around
How
long
about
enough.
this? Batman versus Wolverine.
Who would win?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Wolverine.
hold on. Before you jump to conclusions.
Yeah, Batman is smart.
Yes, and everybody, I hate that fucking shit when people count him out. They're, he's a fucking human, he get his ass kicked. No,
Well,
dude.
he figured out. He's the
didn't
smartest
figure
man in
it
the
out.
world.
He will go into it knowing what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's got plan A, B, C, D, E, F.
And he's probably not going to have to go past Plan B most of the
Yeah.
time, you know?
So I'm always going to take the bat in any fight. I don't give a fuck. I
Yeah.
don't care who it is.
I mean,
you can put him up against Galactus. I'm taking the bat.
I mean, have you ever read Final Crisis?
No.
Well, spoiler, Batman dies, but he doesn't really die. He knew he was going to die. So he set it up so he would actually go to a different dimension, leaving his bones behind.
That's
It
the
was
kind
just
of- that's the kind of bullshit
the
I'm
type
talking
of shit
about.
that Batman does. He's like, I'm back.
Dude,
he
it's
comes back
almost-
years later. He's like, it's really me.
It's almost like an obsessive...
Sorry, Superman, I couldn't tell you because they tried to read your mind. Some shit like that.
It's like he's OCD about his detective work.
Yeah.
Like he's just I admire that. I can't get over the fact
Well,
that
it's
he's
like
that
the
fucking
idea
smart.
of he's got his box, like his fail safe for everybody in the JLA.
Yep.
He's got a box of kryptonite. He's got everything for everyone, and he's got his own, and his is Robin.
Yeah.
That's what he's trained Robin to do. Like, if I ever get out of hand, kill my
Robin,
ass.
kill him, yeah. I fucking like he's just so dope, dude. He's so dope. Like everything about the guy. Like I love the reason he's doing what he's doing.
Well, and that's why when Robin dies, it kills him so hard because
Isn't that what they were playing at in the
Yeah, I
movie
like
with
that. So
the
that's another reason I
Joker?
can't wait to see Suicide Squad. Also, we'll see if there's like some
Maybe
stuff.
that's why he went off the rails. Maybe that's why he went
That's
off the
exactly
rails.
why I went off the
So-
rails. Ha ha ha! Jokes on you.
The Joker kills Robin, and now he's just fucking blowing people away with grenades, dude. If he comes at Leto with like some hard rage, that shit's gonna be.
Well, I'm
amazing.
wondering when Suicide Squad takes place in storyline.
I don't know,
Because
but
DC will be the type of motherfuckers that go backwards. Marvel won't do that because Disney likes to cater towards a wider audience, and they'll, for lack of a better term, they'll dumb it down for the audience. And they go in sequential order. I can see DC doing something weird like that because they don't explain it that well. And they're trying to play catch up, so they might be trying to do
I haven't
backstory.
even read that much shit about it. I try to stay away from all that shit.
So do I.
I don't want to fucking see the movie.
Oh yeah, I've only
it.
seen like a few like production shots and stuff. I think Croc looks like a fucking Goomba from Mario Brothers.
But dude, I mean,
Which sucks because I love Croc.
what else are you gonna do with him? That's what he
Should have been CGI.
Like you think like 10-foot tall CGI?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool.
I think the Croc from the Arkham games is one of the best depictions of Croc
I think
ever.
that comes from and I think that comes from them trying to bring it into like realism.
Yeah.
They didn't want to have a 10-foot crocodile.
That's cool, and like I get that, and thank you as filmmakers trying to do that.
But you know what?
But
though?
you should have made him CGI.
I agree because of this. If he's supposed to be in the same universe as the film we just saw, which he is, because I know Batman's supposed to be in the movie.
Exactly.
Fucking Doomsday and like it was just there
CGI,
like,
and
yeah.
he was
Well, I mean,
20
he's just
feet
there. And he's a
tall.
monster, so why not make Croc a monster?
Yeah, it's expensive if he's in a lot of scenes and stuff.
I have another habit that I have to let you guys know about. I shake my legs almost constantly, and I feel like when I shake them, it's vibrating the mic. So if that's happening, email me about it. Tell me to stop fucking doing it. Like you'll know it when I just did it. So rewind it back and see if you hear anything. I
keep forgetting to
I completely derailed Chad's train of thought because when I started going into it, he started looking at me like I just betrayed him.
I thought maybe your like phone was vibrating or something.
No, it was just my leg.
Phone call or something. But yeah, good shit. Yeah. See, Suicide Squad comes out soon this year. I'm actually excited. I wasn't excited at all about it, and now I am. And it's funny because I see a lot of people talking shit on this Batman versus Superman, and I'm just like, I don't really care because if it somehow gets a new Constantine movie made, I'm all fucking for it. A new Swamp Thing movie, yeah, bring on the DC universe. Fuck, I don't give a fuck about the Marvel universe, man. I've been watching the Marvel universe 20 fucking years now. I don't care. How many fucking more Spider-Mans are they going to make? With the same fucking plot. Like, I don't care. It's boring and it's lame. And unless DC brings in the fucking Celestials and some real Jack Kirby fucking storylines and starts bringing in some, apocalypse and world-ending type of stuff, Marvel is boring, man. I guess that's what Civil War is supposed to be.
You know what, though?
But
I'm going to pitch something to you. I'm going to pitch an idea to you. So instead of doing Age of Ultron, this is what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have taken the X-Men and put them against the Avengers.
It's the licensing, though.
I know, but that's what I would have done. And don't tell me they can't do it because they got Spider-Man from Sony.
They finally got Spider-Man from Sony.
Because they're penny pinching motherfuckers,
After
dude.
Sony made 2 shitty Spider-Man movies that nobody fucking gave a shit about. The problem is that Sony keeps making X-Men movies that people fucking love because Hugh Jackman's in them. As soon as Hugh Jackman stops making... something fell on the floor. It's funny. As soon as Hugh Jackman stops making those movies, like nobody's gonna give a shit, and that sucks because McAvoy is great as Professor X, and I love what's his name? Plays Magneto now.
Fossberger or something?
Fassbender. Yeah, Fassbender's great.
Sorry.
Is a great. I think he's a better Magneto than
him in that
fucking
scene with
Gandalf.
the fucking knife when he was like killing those people that tortured him when he was younger or whatever.
Yeah,
was badass.
Yeah,
that guy's awesome.
But Sony Pictures is just I think a better.
But anyway, my point is this:
They don't have
I'm
Disney's money,
I'm a big time
but-
wrestling fan, so I believe that everybody has a price.
Yeah,
and I think
but the price ain't big enough. That's
but guess
what?
what?
It is.
Do you know how much fucking money they could make? They're not going to ask them for $1 billion. I promise you, they won't.
That's what they'll ask for.
No, they won't. They would ask for something probably about half. I think.
Yeah,
maybe
the movie would easily make $3 billion. So
exactly, dude. Could you imagine seeing fucking Jackman go up against?
Because the new Apocalypse movie doesn't look all that great,
dude. They have a story. They actually have a story where this happened, where where the Avengers and X-Men went against each other.
Yeah, of course.
They had it was like a jurisdiction issue.
Yeah,
it's like Professor X wanted to handle some bullshit, and then the Avengers came in and they're like, "Well, you're not allowed to do that. Like, yeah, you're the good guys, but we have jurisdiction here." And Wolverine's like, "Shove it up."
I mean,
your
it was just
ass.
X-Men versus Avengers, wasn't it? They were running. It was just a few years ago they were running that. Right?
Yeah, and fuck, this is what I remember.
They're really good.
I remember Iron Man taking off and Wolverine having his claws dug into his suit.
Yeah.
and just flying around like that. Could you now imagine Jackman doing that to fucking Robert Downey Jr.? Dude?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that would have been?
That would be a great movie.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
movies were well cast, man.
Huh?
Those movies were well cast. I
Yeah.
will say that. But a lot of stuff with like the Marvel Universe things, I think. I still haven't seen it. I'd like to see Ant-Man. I like the character, but I think the DC's, because basically Marvel and DC have the same fucking characters. They're just called something different. They have a different costume, but they have all very similar characters.
Do you know what the greatest scene of all time is? Or, well, the comic book scene, I think I'll take. Like comic book
All
movies.
time?
Yeah. Let's see if you can guess it. That I think.
Okay.
What do you think it is?
Comic book scene
It's from a Batman movie.
in a
That's what I'm bringing it up.
movie?
Yeah. Your hint is it's from a Batman. It's from one of the Batman movies.
I mean, that's fucking hard to say, man.
You got Aaron Eckhart and you got Heath Ledger when he's convincing him not to lose his fucking mind. Remember? He's in there as a nurse and he's like,
Yes.
why the fuck do you hate me? He's like, I'm just doing shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, you need to go after the fuckers who are like purposely screwing people. Like, you know, like the people that you were once is who you need to now go after. And he gives him the choice. He like gives him the gun and puts it up against his head. And then he's sitting there thinking, he's like, he flips the coin for the first time. Remember?
Yeah.
He's like, you live. He shows the other side. He's like, you die. And then flips it. And then he just looks at him. And next thing you see is Joker walking out of the room. Like, so fucking crazy, dude. Like, that shit was amazing. From a Batman movie.
Yeah, Eckhart as Harvey
Two-Face.
Dent was just... I like Eckhart a lot anyways. Thank You for Smoking. I think it's an amazing movie.
Dude, his ability to like rage out within like 10 seconds was
Of
so
being a
believable.
perfect politician,
it was
too,
so
yeah.
believable. Like he's fucking freaked out.
That way
And
to just
it wasn't,
switch.
Yeah, yeah, and it wasn't just after he. The best part is it wasn't just after he had gotten hurt. He would do that like in the courtroom. He would like get really pissed off. They showed like it wasn't because of what happened to him. That's just who he was, and it took that little push.
Well, because he was the guy
trying.
trying to do the good, and nobody would let him do the good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit was crazy. The villains and stuff, like I can't get over it. To go back to your point, DC I like because the villains are more interesting,
way better villains.
But I mean that's kind of biased because I'm
Well,
pulling
Batman just
specifically
has the
from
best.
Batman. Yeah,
has the best villains.
Yeah.
He always has. That's one of the reasons why Batman is such a great character. 'Cause his
Penguin's
villains are
fucking great.
Great. Penguin is great.
I really wanted to see. There was like rumors on the internet about Philip Seymour Hoffman doing Penguin.
Doing Penguin.
Oh my god, dude! And he didn't even have to be like deformed. He could have been just an
No, he
arms
just would have been
dealer.
Cowbot. And like he didn't even have to really be the Penguin.
Yeah, so I'm
just been,
saying
like,
he could have been an
fucking club
arms
owner.
dealer, and
Yeah.
like his alias would have been like Penguin or
Yeah,
whatever.
but it had a little picture of a penguin in a
on, like, his little
tuxedo,
crates
like on
and
his
shit.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, like, this shit would have been
calling card
awesome,
or something.
dude.
That's all you would needed. He would have been great. Another great actor lost to fucking opiates.
Yeah,
Once
no.
again, don't do opiates. Anyway,
it I don't want to get back in. I was gonna go off it, but no, it's true. It sucks that we don't get to see them do that
Yeah.
anymore.
yeah, Hoffman. I liked him a lot. A lot of good stuff.
I guess you can't. I mean, I think we're going to be stuck into a period where we're endlessly going to be seeing Batman movies come out, and that's not bad. And I know that like the role's going to change. I like seeing. other
No,
people
but I
play
mean,
him.
you've heard what like Spielberg and Lucas have said about him, right? They're going to go the way of the westerns. They're about to die out. They're about to cap out. And Spielberg, I believe he said he gives it another like. He said this a few years ago, so I think he said another 10 years, if that. And then it's just one really big flop away. You just need to.
Sure.
I was
But
kind of worried that Batman vs Superman was going to actually be it too.
I'll tell you this: Godzilla's been around for almost 100 years, or maybe 100 years. I don't know.
1950s.
19. Oh, okay.
54.
What was it? How old is he? Like 60, 70?
54.
How many years is that? It's like 70 years or something, right? Anyway, he's been
it's
around for
like
a long fucking time.
63.
There's been some real shitty Godzilla movies.
There's
and
only really been two good Godzilla movies, in my opinion.
Okay, well, anyway.
The original and the newest one. The
My
newest
point
American
is,
one.
they're still making them. So
Yeah.
they'll probably die off.
Seen a little bit of the trailer of the new one? The
You mean
new Japanese one?
Yeah.
The suit?
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I think the suit looks great.
So they're still using the suit style.
Yeah, they're using a suit.
That's going to be fucking
And he
awesome.
looks like the original Godzilla, just like updated. It's pretty sick. I love it. I can't wait to see it. I really...
I'll have to watch that when we're done with this because I do want to see
Well, a
it.
lot of the other Godzillas are just goofy fucking shit. Like, there's some good ideas, but they're just like campy. We're like an hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was trying to check. Like, I think our cap for anybody's attention span. I listen to these at work. We're allowed to.
Yeah.
Like podcasts. That's how I got into them. And usually after like an hour and a half, my brain just starts dying.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the subject is. So I'm thinking we usually try to keep.
Did you bring Street Fighter 4 over?
Fuck.
Yeah, that's okay. Next time.
No,
We'll play it soon.
Tomorrow's Sunday. What are you doing Sunday?
I gotta work tomorrow.
You know what? We're gonna get into that. I hate when people say, "Oh, I gotta work." Are you working from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. tomorrow?
I'll get out till same time as I got out today.
Okay, well then we can. I'm sitting here now. Play some Street Fighter, man. Oh, the fucking Pro Tour's on right now. We should watch that.
We should. I'm like burping and got the hiccups at the same time right now.
We've had a lot of problems this episode. A lot of audio.
A lot of
audio problems. First of all, we couldn't get it to record, so we had to restart it. And we had a way better intro, dude. I was so amped, and then it just kind of went. Yeah. In the second,
I was sitting here like looking at the waves, and I was like, "We're not getting any spikes here."
Yeah, tell them what happened.
Oh, I didn't have it plugged in.
You didn't have the mixer plugged in.
I didn't have the mixer plugged into the laptop, so we were just pulling
sitting here like a couple of goons, talking to a mic, and we're recording from the laptop microphone.
We've probably gone about 10 minutes too, and then I'm glad I caught it.
Oh my god, I know. What if we were doing this and you stopped it
right now?
Yeah.
I just
all of it was gone.
We're done.
Well, it was supposed to be on Batman, but now we're doing somebody. It would be Wolverine.
Yeah, we were just like, not even gave a shit by that point.
The Arkham games, man. You want to talk about the games, the animated series? Shit.
I was about to talk about Kevin Conroy. But Arkham games, let's talk about Arkham games first. First one, amazing. One of the best video games I've ever played.
Yep.
The best Batman game I've ever played.
Yep.
Some of the best Batman character designs I've ever seen.
Yep.
You got Kevin Conroy as the fucking voice of Batman.
Dude, and let me tell you
got Mark
something.
Hamill as the voice of Joker again. Like, the two of the best voices of actors, I think, personally, to portray those characters ever.
I got a sweet surprise when I was playing that because I didn't know that it was Kevin Conroy. I didn't do any research
You didn't
into
know.
it. No, but hold on.
And you walked in.
I started playing and I said, I fucking know that voice. And I looked it up and I was like, that has to be the fucker from the cartoon. Yep. And sure enough, Kevin Conroy. Yeah. And I love Kevin Conroy, dude. I sent him an email, actually, to try to get him on a show. And if we do, we're absolutely going to do an interview. And I would love to have him on here just to talk about that show because that animated series and the games are so damn good because of his acting that it holds up. If you go online and look up Batman the Animated Series, the fucking thing is rated like 9.8.
Yeah, it's
for a cartoon. Yeah.
You know, I heard that they one of the reasons it has that look is that they animated it on black paper.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So it's got that really. So then they painted over the reds over that. So then the blacks come through. It's one of the reasons it has that kind of.
It feels like they.
I'm just a huge fan of Art Deco, and that it is what it is. That Art Nouveau feel from the 20s, that sweeping.
Oh yeah, dude.
Shapes and sunbursts, and that monolithic size of buildings.
How about
the intro? Yeah. I actually borrowed a friend of ours. What is
got the
Phantom?
box set?
No, the Phantom.
Did you notice the Phantasm line?
In what?
And what is the name of them? Hold on, let me look something up before I say this.
Mask the Phantasm.
Mask the Phantasm, right? It is Phantasm, right?
Yeah.
Not Phantom. Okay.
No.
It's been a long time since I saw it. What's Alfred is hold on, I'm gonna get this myself. And I'm talking in Dawn of Justice. He is played by Jeremy Irons, right?
Mask of the Phantasm.
Excellent.
I saw this in the theaters too.
Jeremy Irons drops that name. I can't remember the actual line in Dawn of Justice as Alfred. He says something like, something about I think he says masked phantasm or something. And I know they did that as like a little egg for people.
Well, it was one of those great things where you thought it was like it ended up being the girl, and you were.
That's what it is. They're talking about.
That's what a Long Halloween was like too.
What's the fuck? I can't remember the line, man. I'm really pissed off. I know I specifically put it in my brain so I could say it for you, and I lost it.
Mass Phantasm. I thought he said some mass.
He says something about something phantasm, and I think it's in reference to a woman. I'm not sure. Like it was really, it was clearly a reference to that little.
See, I remember him saying something as a reference to woman. I thought maybe he was talking with Catwoman at the time, Selena Kyle.
Oh,
great character too, Selena Kyle. I love that name. Great character name, Selena Kyle.
I like Selena.
Yeah,
Selena's a good name.
It works. It's slinky like a cat. It works well. Great character name.
You can almost see them sitting there coming up with these names.
Well, I mean, Bruce Wayne just sounds like Bill Kane, so.
Yeah. Where the fuck did Oswald Cobblepot come
What a
from?
Great name.
Yeah, it's like a complete shitty band. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the dude from A Wonderful Life.
Penguin?
You ever see A Wonderful Life?
Penguin does?
Potter. Remember Potter from A Wonderful Life? You ever seen that
no,
movie?
I've never seen the movie.
He's like a shitty banker. Like he's like trying to ruin.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name? Fuck, dude. I can't remember anybody's name today.
I mean, the actor is Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. He's like,
I'm gonna go jump off a bridge.
he's trying to fuck his life over, and he's this garbage banker. But he dresses in black. He looks like Penguin. I always feel like they might have got some inspiration from that character. I wonder.
Well, I mean, Batman came out in the 30s, man.
When the fuck did that movie come out?
Probably 50s.
Oh shit! So maybe it's in reverse.
Yeah, depending on when the character came out.
Yeah. I can't believe he's that old. Could you imagine? Like, can you think like, the creator?
Well, he's changed so much. I mean, he used to kill people and sleep in a bed with Robin. So,
well,
and he used to talk about boners a lot too.
He's not.
You ever seen those? Those
No.
images from old Batman comics where he would, it's just stuff where it's just, I'll show you some, we'll find some later. And the Joker's just like, oh no, you stopped my huge boner, Batman. Because a boner was like a plan, you know, oh, you pulled a big boner.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just old timey, you know.
Is that
antiquated slang?
I'm wondering if that's the reason why they use that for what they currently do now. I don't know.
You mean an erection?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's got to be some kind of connection. I'm not going to do any digging
Hold a
on
big
that.
boner.
I've got way better things to do.
Then Google boners.
Yeah, they Google the reason.
That sounds like my type of research.
Have fun. You can text me about it later.
Dude, I'm going to mass flood you images like dicks everywhere.
God, dude. He's hitting his microphone now. It's not that. It's not that glorious.
I don't know. Eat a dick.
I feel like the quality of this is just degrading
as the hours,
as the show's going on.
The minutes.
But see,
go
this
on.
is the difference. So this is when we do like generalized.
This is like 11:30 at night, though. So,
Yeah,
you know,
if we do generalized discussions, this is kind of what you're going to expect, where it's a little bit more. I mean, we don't script anything, but it's a little less focused, and things like this are going to happen. What are you? That was really loud, dude. That's going to blow somebody away. Like, don't do that. Look at the spike on that.
yeah, it looks pretty sexy. I don't know. I'm always loud, so I'm getting like internet scan security thing. My fucking antivirus is trying to scan right now. I'm trying to record. God damn it.
I think we covered the character pretty well, though. Oh, wait. Fucking games, man. God,
We were talking about him.
Yeah, and I went off.
I thought Arkham City sucked. I mean, it's fun to play. It's a fun video game, you know, but overall, it left me hungry.
You know what's
and then I
really
still haven't played
funny?
Night, so.
Shit,
It's a shame because, like, Scarecrow's the main villain. He's one of my favorites.
that game came out in October, I think.
I have no idea.
I'm almost positive that that City came out
August,
in October, something like that. Yeah. And I got it as a Christmas gift, and the whole fucking game takes place like around Christmas. So as I'm playing it, I remember this. If you listen to the intro, like this basic start screen music, it's like it's a Christmas song. I can't remember the one that everybody fucking loves. The dum 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 dum. So they're playing that bullshit.
Joy to the.
Yeah. It's like, you don't know. It's like the one you know, but nobody knows what it is.
The one from Home Alone.
Yeah. They turn into a really badass song.
When he's running home, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I buy this toothbrush?
Is this toothbrush approved by the American Dental Association?
I don't know. Let me check.
Let me look here. I don't know. God. Anyway,
Can we do an episode about John Hughes films?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
So I'm sitting there like thinking I'm losing my mind because I'm playing this game and I'm hearing Christmas music come from the game, and then I start seeing Christmas lights in the music. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Because it was Arkham Knight,
Arkham City.
City, yes. Because I remember City took place during Christmas.
Yeah.
I was like, Arkham
Drove me crazy, dude. They wasted.
Did you ever beat City?
Yeah, I beat both of them. I just haven't played Night.
Great ending though.
I was
where it ends
too-
up being Clayface. I was happy with that.
I don't remember it being Clayface. I thought
Yeah, like that was the main bad guy. He was the one that was like orchestrating everything. I mean, kind of like as a henchman to Joker, but yeah.
Doesn't Joker get wasted?
Clayface is the final boss.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know, man.
I know I beat the game.
I thought that was one of the best parts.
Dude, I'm starting to lose it. Like, I remember the final boss fight from
The first
Arkham
one with
Asylum was
Mutant
the Mutant Joker.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy.
But I thought the last fight with Arkham City was you just like doing a button sequence and just beating the shit out of the Joker.
No, I think it's a button sequence onto Clayface. Maybe like right after that, there's a Joker thing.
We'll have to look
But I
it up.
specifically remember like the Joker's there and he's all healthy, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "It's me. I've been doing this the whole time.
I don't wanna get-
It's me. It's fucking Clayface."
If we get too far into this, I know someone is sitting there right now listening to it, and they know what's going on, and like
And-
it's these dumb fucks.
and these dumb
Like,
fucks.
they don't know what the hell. And I was scared. To,
Hey,
like,
look, no threats found. Very good.
I was scared to get into comic book material because I was thinking, dude, the fucking email is going to explode.
You
so
know-
far it's been okay, but I feel like
Whatever.
now, like if you want to get some emails, you start fucking up comic book continuity. You'll get some emails real quick.
Well, then I'll pull up the comic book I'm talking about and shut you down. I mean, what can you do? There's been probably 50,000 different Batman comics.
Yeah, I know.
If you're like up my ass about
I can't wait to
Batman
try
that
Night.
hard, I don't know. You better have a doctorate in Batmanology.
Did you? This is like really off, like an like an off Batman off. Dude, if you could get that degree, I would have had it years ago. I would be.
Oh, you
I'd
probably
be,
can. There's probably some like weird liberal arts school over in the West Coast. So
shit.
like,
I didn't know about that job.
You
Somebody's
know.
about to lose it because I'm coming for it.
How much money can you actually make?
Who cares? You're a fucking Batmanologist.
Batmanologist.
No, I know it doesn't exist because they'd be on all them fucking AMC TV shows where they talk about Batman, and then it's like all they have like the writers
Batman
and shit. It would be
expert.
you'd have Batmanologist and he'd be on there. You know the fucking dude? Who's the dude? Like,
Well, he'd be like the dude they hire for a Batman movie or something like that.
oh yeah,
To help keep character in line.
that would actually be a really shitty job. Now I'm thinking.
Oh my god, you'd want to shoot yourself every fucking day.
It's like you'd have to keep all this continuity straight.
Fuck that.
It'd be just
That sounds terrible.
yeah. It doesn't. It sounds fun. It's one of those things that sounds fun, but it would probably suck.
Yeah.
Well, I think that.
Well, Batman animated series.
Oh shit! I mean,
We touched on
into
him
it
a little bit.
but Mark Hamill is the Joker, dude. Holy shit!
Well, he has that very like, ooh, hello, Batty boy.
You should
type
have
of-
seen my face the first time I found out that was Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
You know what? Like, I think I remember hearing that and then going. I want to say I read it in an episode once, and then I was like, Mark Hamill. Isn't he in Star Wars? Just not
Yeah.
knowing, being younger, probably 5 or 6 at the time. Like, just the name rang the bell. And then when I found out officially, I was just like, oh yeah, that's why I know the voice.
I didn't realize it till like maybe
You were
like
more
3 years
surprised.
ago.
Really?
Yeah, I had never looked
Wow.
into it. I saw that I knew who
No,
the
'cause
guy was.
I remember that like when we were kids, type of like not to have knowledge. Well,
Yeah.
at least like 10 or 12.
I never looked it up. So when
Huh.
I found it out, it like blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like
When-
the whole time because
yeah.
I had no reason to look it up. And then when I went to actually go look it up, I found him and I was just, that's crazy. It's crazy that somebody can be that good at 2 different mediums.
That guy is an amazing actor, and he's just typecast because he played the good old farm boy.
Yeah.
In one
You
of the
should
most
watch.
popular
Have you
movies
ever
ever.
watched any of his recording sessions?
Yeah.
He's so
They're
fucking
great.
like he's like doing this shit with the microphone,
Yeah,
like
well, he's-
surrounding it
he's
with
a-
his hands. And
yeah,
stuff.
he's
like,
an actor.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I would love to do the Joker voice in a cartoon. The only problem is I would just do my impression of Mark
You
Hamill
could
doing
go
Joker.
nuts though. You could go nuts.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go nuts.
I used to go nuts.
Yeah.
Batman would be really hard to do, I feel. A
Batman?
great question to ask Kevin Conroy. Like, how easy is it to do Batman? Because I feel like you really have to be reserved a lot of the time. Even when in action, he's just like, "Urgh."
I think that the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman would be difficult especially
trying to create
two different types.
a good type.
I can't remember when I first watched the show. I know I was watching it when it aired, though, and it would come on at like fucking 10 o'clock at night or something, 11 o'clock at night. I remember it being on.
The Batman cartoon?
Yeah.
No, it came on like fucking Saturday mornings on WB.
No, but I mean like later on. Like after it was on.
You mean when it was serialized?
Yeah.
Reruns.
And I would watch those, and it would scare the shit out of me, dude.
Great.
A cartoon.
Great cartoon.
And the music. I forgot to mention the music. You know how
great music. I mean,
that
everything
music's
about
crazy.
that. I think that is one of the best Batman interpretations ever.
You know what, though? I feel like that music really heavily played off of Danny Elfman.
Fuck
from
yeah,
Tim
it did.
Burton.
I wonder. It wasn't Danny Elfman who did it, was he?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't be
I'd have to look,
surprised. But let me just say how much I love Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
Not just as a film composer, but Oingo Boingo is one of the greater new wave bands of the 80s. Great lyrics, cheeky fucking lyrics. He didn't give a fuck what anybody thought. Yeah, Elfman's the shit, man.
His music is unparalleled, dude.
No, and it's iconic.
Unparalleled.
Like, I'll go into a new movie, and I'll be 5 minutes late or whatever, and that intro music's playing. I go, "This is fucking Elfman." Like, you know it.
The intro to the 1989 movie is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Like, I got sucked into it. Like, when I first started it, I was kind of like looking at my computer because and I had it on my TV, and then the music started, and I was like, "Oh damn!"
I forgot how good this movie is.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh shit, it's about to get
They had
serious."
some great artists working on that film.
Well, I mean, Zimmer did okay. I like what Zimmer did, particularly with the Joker shit, dude. I fucking love that violin. That
The only problem I find with Zimmer and some of they all kind of sound the same. They don't add
compared to who?
Compared to Danny Elfman.
Oh, do you think they ripped him?
No, I think they all sound similar between each other. John Williams, Hans Zimmer, like it's all of that
Just the
very
musical style?
orchestral, classical type of sound. It's.
You know what? I feel like Elfman was heavy on the trumpets and the brass.
Well, he was.
Zimmer was heavy on the
ska
drums.
stuff he was into in the 80s. And while, what'd you say?
Zimmer was like heavy on the drums. And
Drums. Yeah, no, that
all
is
the time.
true.
That shit was great. Both of them work. They both work. And you know what though? They're great for what they were doing. Like, I can't see Elfman stuff in Nolan's movies, and I can't see Nolan stuff.
No, because Elfman's a little more out.
I can't
That's
see
why
Zimmer
Elfman's
stuff.
been doing Tim Burton's films for the past 30 fucking years.
The both of those scores were great.
But when I think of Elfman's Simpsons theme, it is.
I think the last thing we got
weird.
though is those other two, isn't it? We didn't even fucking mention them. Forever and whatever the hell.
I talked about Val Kilmer. You never saw what?
I never saw the one with Schwarzenegger in it.
Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
You've never seen it?
Nope. Because I was so pissed off they took Kilmer away. I didn't want to watch.
Then how
it.
did you know about the line?
I seen a fucking Facebook video that said
"Chill out."
It said the most puns in a movie ever, and it's just like it's like 3 minutes of Arnold doing fucking cold puns.
So you've never seen? You gotta watch it, man.
I want
It's
to.
bad.
I want to.
I've seen every Batman movie that's been in theaters since 1989 in theaters, except for that 89 one. I watched it on VHS or something.
Forever was fun for when I was a kid. Now
Yeah,
I
of
look
course.
at it and it's like kind of garbage. But
Well, if you look at it,
huh?
it's reminiscent of the 60s. Cesar Romero, Adam West, Burt Ward, Batman.
Fuck, we didn't even talk about them. But I don't know that much about it though.
I used to watch the shit out of it when I was a kid.
I've seen like maybe 20 episodes.
It's campy. It's corny. It's great.
Don't they like not show people getting punched in the face? And it's like pow. And it's just like pow.
It's like a title card comes up and it says pow and boing
Yeah.
and zing. You've never really seen that show?
I like doing that though.
Oh, we need to get a copy.
No, I mean
of
I've
it or
seen
something.
it. It's just I haven't like I said I'm a completist. So I haven't like sat down and like
Watched
went
them all?
episode to episode to episode.
I don't know if I watched them all, but there's a movie. And
Don't talk and yawn, dude.
I know. I think the best part is like Cesar Romero refused to shave his mustache off when he put the makeup on for the Joker. So like I never really, as a child, I'd watch these reruns. I'm like, why does his face look so weird? Now I
Dude,
know
it's
it's because
the
he's got
mustache.
makeup over his mustache.
Wow, I didn't even notice.
What a whack job.
What the hell else did he do?
I don't know. He's like a famous.
I know that
actor or
name.
something.
Yeah, like I know his name. I just don't know why I know it other than Batman. I know he's in that, but I've
Yeah.
heard him do other stuff.
I hope that's his name. I'm not thinking of the dog whisperer.
It's close enough. Like it's not easy to. I think it's one of those ones that like it's not easy to pronounce.
I'm pretty sure it's Caesar something or other. It's been a while since I watched that show. I would love
You know
to
what?
catch it.
I got to see the original Catwoman's costume. It's in
cool.
the Smithsonian.
She just recently died, I think.
I know.
Away. Well, she was good. She had that Batman like type of jokery like,
and they all
purr.
visibly got pissed off because like she liked Batman.
Yeah.
You notice that? And then fucking Burgess Meredith.
All the like the bad guys.
Yeah,
would get
Burgess
pissed off.
Meredith is a Penguin. I remember. And
Yeah.
then, like the Riddle. They were all every time she'd be like Batman, and they all look at her like "fuck you." Like,
Yeah, 'cause,
there's
like,
5 dudes.
They're all
standing
trying to
here.
bang her. And,
Yeah,
like she
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
want any of them. She wants Batman.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny in the the 89 Batman, Tim Burton. Bruce Wayne has sex with Vicky Vale.
Yeah.
Vicky Vale as Bruce Wayne. And then the next night he like doesn't call her, quote unquote, and then bangs her as Batman. And he's like and she has no
And
idea.
then she's still mad at him.
Yeah, she's still mad at
How do
him.
you not know it's the same dude?
How would you not know that it's the same dick inside of you or something? Like this? The breath, like the smell, like you know, of a person. Like you know the smell and pheromones of another human being that you're attracted to.
I feel like
she's just not a very good reporter. That's all it is.
I feel like out of the people that I've been with, if I were to close my eyes and some shit were to happen, I could tell you which
you
one
would
it
know
was.
who it was.
Yeah. That's kind of
That's
but
just like weird.
she was drunk though, wasn't she?
There was, and then Batman. She's like, "You're not even drunk," and he's like, "Oh, one drink and I'm flying."
That was kind
he
of
totally like
that was kind of bad, wasn't it?
yeah, like there was some like dirty shit in that movie, man.
You know what I like though? I like when she goes to his house and she's like, "Oh, I got a date with Bruce Wayne." And then she shows up, and they're like sitting at this fucking table. It's like 12 foot long, and they're both on
Pass me
either
the
side.
salt.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you want the salt? He like peeks around the candle holder.
Yeah.
Gets up, takes the salt, walks all the way over there, gives it to her, walks back, starts eating again before he delivers another line of dialogue.
Yeah,
that shit is
Then he
great.
says something about like, "I've never even been in this room before."
Yeah. She's like, well, this room's like, how do you like this room? And he looks up, he's like, fuck. He's like, I don't even know if I've
been in here.
It's great, dude.
It's crazy.
But then he drops that perfect line where he's like, he says, she's like, well, this house doesn't feel like you. And he's like, well, there's parts of it that are very much me, and there's a lot that isn't.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great line.
So he does have some great lines about like
That's so
how
deep.
he is back.
Yeah.
then.
It's like
Well,
there's stuff in there that he can just identify with. And
this
shit he
is
didn't
my
even care
favorite
about.
line in that movie. She goes up to him and says, do you know Bruce Wayne? And he goes, oh, he's around here somewhere.
Yeah. It's
Because
so
he's in
awesome.
Batman mode, you know. It's just like he doesn't. It's that psyche of like,
Yeah.
is he? You know, who's Batman? Who's Bruce
Then
Wayne?
when they see him later, she's like, "You know who Bruce Wayne is now?" And he like looks at her confused, like, "What the fuck is she talking?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah."
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, then she asks him, "What do you do for a living, Mr. Wayne?" And then he cuts to him like being Batman. Like that's what he does for a
Yeah.
living. It's funny.
That's great, dude. You know what I didn't like though?
What are you? I'm Batman.
That's your favorite, dude.
That's what
that
my
really
favorite
reminded me. That had like a Spawn type feel to it. I feel
What,
like
Batman?
that particular scene, or I guess Spawn had that.
Spawn is
when he's always on the
ripoff of,
fucking
like,
roof.
Batman and Doctor Strange. and
Yeah,
Batman.
I'm talking about specifically though that movie that they made. Remember?
Spawn hadn't even come out yet, though.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like that reminded me of that movie when I was watching it because I just
At the
watched it
end,
recently.
when they play the
No, the
2001
beginning,
Odyssey,
at the beginning when they're on the
when he's animated,
roof.
the animated like when like Batman is
no,
animated.
the scene where the guys are there that you just like quoted from.
Oh, the two guys like.
Yeah, like it,
Did you hear about Johnny Goggs? Johnny Goggs got ripped and walked off a roof.
He's been waiting to say that all day.
Yeah, I've been saying it all. I've been saying it for the past like a week. Watch that movie. It's hilarious. What are you?
It's so stupid, dude. So stupid. But it works. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best part about it. Like,
No.
you can tell they've put, like, crazy stylizations into the city. But
Effort.
it works.
There's a lot
I
of
just
effort in
believe
those
it.
movies.
I believe it because there are characters that are, like, kind of like comic book-y, right? Mm-hmm. But then when you just start to feel like, I don't know if I believe this shit, right? Keaton and Nicholson like bring you right back into it, like right back to the ground where they're so fucking good at what they're doing. You believe it again.
You believe the world.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, exactly.
no matter what goofy shit the two of them are doing with the Joker's dancing and prancing around. Like, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
He gets him out of nowhere and just puts him on.
He pulls these sunglasses out of nowhere. Or when he pulls up that giant gun. Like,
that was so funny. But you know what the best part is, though?
What?
He aces him with that shot.
Yeah, he does.
Brings the fucking...
When he's all like stoked, he's surprised that he
Yeah.
gets to like see Nicholson's like, oh shit.
It's like...
He pulls out of his pants. Like, where was he hiding that fucking thing?
How could he walk straight with that thing down his pant leg? Like, it's
just all
ridiculous.
sorts of, like smell the flower. Like, he very much was the Joker. Where Heath Ledger isn't the Joker. Heath Ledger is more like the Riddler type of like a character. They just used the iconic Joker look as the Riddler.
Nicholson was fucking amazing, dude.
Nicholson's
And
amazing.
The more I'm thinking about it, it's like he says shit like the dance with the devil thing. He comes in there and drops that line, "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
And he's like,
then
what? He's like, I don't know. I
he
just
goes,
want to
"What?"
like
He's
to say it all my
he's just
prayer.
like, fuck it, I just like saying it. It sounds good. It's like,
I think
what?
it sounds good. Like,
that's
it doesn't
so
really mean
good,
anything
dude.
to him. He's just
Yeah.
like fucking psycho.
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
And then I love the scene where like Bruce like gets intense as a bitch. Like he just like freaks out for no reason and smashes the fucking thing by himself.
What a crazy-
Come on, he's just like,
Let's get crazy.
okay. She shoots him. Like, what the hell?
Well, all right. Just shoots him. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, Ledger did great, dude. He just took this.
No,
he took
it's just a different character.
He took the craziness to a whole new level.
Was a different type of crazy. And
You know my favorite thing that Ledger does, right?
What?
And
The
it's
pencil?
It's the most accurate thing he does. No, not even the pencil. You barely even know it unless you watch it. Somebody gets hit with a taser, and he just goes. Like jumps on the guy and it's like, what the fuck? Like it's just this crazy little the dude gets dropped and he just goes nuts like he's a little kid who just saw somebody get electrocuted for the first time.
Yeah, he just loves it.
Yeah, like that kind of shit.
Well,
and
you've
then-
heard like the fan theories where they say that Ledger's Joker is supposed to be like an Iraqi war vet,
yeah,
'cause
and
it
it
makes
all
sense.
shit about bombs and all that kind of
whereas
stuff.
like Jack Nicholson's Joker is basically just some cokehead fucking mob boss that falls in a vat of acid. And then Cesar Romero's like probably got a vat of LSD laying around somewhere.
I do have to mention this though. I love how both movies, the Nolans and the Burtons, do the disappear gag. Where like Batman's standing there and then someone turns around, turns back, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Shit's so good.
That's like every
And then I think it was Rises, like where he brings. Or Dark Knight is the second one where he brings Aaron Eckhart, Harvey to the roof.
Yeah.
Jim Gordon does, and they're all talking. And he does the disappearing thing, and fucking Jim like knows he just does that shit.
Yeah.
And then Harvey starts looking around like, what? And he's like, yeah, he does that shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he does that.
Well, that's I like the first appearance of Batman in Dawn of Justice, where it's just like he's like hiding in the corner, like in the
That was
like the
crazy.
ceiling corner,
That was
like,
crazy, dude. Yeah. That was awesome. That reminded me of you ever seen John Carpenter's Vampires? I mean,
Yeah.
When when the girl walks in the room and she's like putting her shit down and fucking Valak's on the roof.
Yeah.
Like just sitting.
Yeah, it was very. It did remind me of that a little bit. Yeah, I think Zack Snyder gets a lot of bad rap for being a bad director, but I'll still say I think Watchmen's one of my favorite.
I mean, he
comic
cranked
movies
out
ever.
Watchmen. He cranked out Dawn of the Dead remake, my favorite zombie movie of all
Really?
time.
That's your favorite?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Mine's Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is good.
It's
You know who I
just-
like in Day of the Dead? Who's the main villain? Who gets like
Oh god, I couldn't
completely
tell you the
fucking
actor.
trashed. That guy's so funny. Like he's sitting there dragging his body on the floor, or he's
Yeah.
got shot. He's pissed at the zombie shot him, and he's just cursing. There's nothing around him. He's like, "You fucker!" He's like on the wall, he's like, "You motherfucker!" It's so funny, dude. That guy is great.
Yeah, we should.
I'm gonna see if he's like still available. Like I'm gonna send him an email, see if we can get him on the show for a zombie
Could be.
episode. We gotta do a zombie episode, man.
God, I can't even talk that much about zombies. Like it pretty much just goes down to Romero's original three
You can
films.
do the art form, man.
But that's all I want to talk about is Romero's original 3 films. I think pretty much almost everything outside of that sucks.
Well,
Original Resident Evil games, some like Return of the Living Dead, some of the early 80s zombie movies, but
I listened to
lot
a
of it's
show
bad.
by Kumail Nanjiani, the X-Files files, and he said that he first started reviewing only the episodes he liked, and then people complained, and they complained because they wanted to hear all of them, right? They wanted to hear why he doesn't like the episodes that he wanted to skip. So that might just be what you have to do. Maybe they want to hear
Talk about how every Resident Evil movie sucks.
if you don't like, if you Sorry, Paul.
Sorry, Paul. and how almost everything Romero has made after Day of the Dead blows. Like,
yeah, contrast it. Just contrast it. Like, if you like Romero's, why don't you like the other ones?
Yeah.
Did you like Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah, I did like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, that's another one. You can talk about that.
It's good parody. God, is this about to turn into a fucking zombie?
No, it's not. No,
I
it's
think
not. We can go ahead and we'll wrap it up.
We're kind of wrapping it up soon.
We can go ahead and do it now. I'm pretty much finished. Batman's a fucking shit. End of story.
I used to have a Batman toy, Michael Keaton Batman. I threw him off the top of the stairs because I thought he could fly like Batman. He broke, and I got really sad. There's a metaphor for life there. Story. Yeah,
was like an expensive toy.
It was the original '89 Batman toy.
I bet you that motherfucker.
He had the little belt,
utility
belt that had like a string attached to it, and you can pull.
Damn,
a little cloth cape.
The only thing I remember having is like the vehicles.
Yeah, I never really had any of the vehicles.
I had the bat wing that he flies around.
I always had a couple Batman toys and stuff.
Well, we recommend that you see the new movie. I mean, I hope you've already seen it if you're watching this.
Yeah, I loved it. So,
but yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and
any new Batman stuff? Should we plug? Oh, we never did plug anything. Plug the junk. Plug the junk.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. We're supposed to do this at the beginning of the show, but like we said, we had technical difficulties.
I'm
going to put it in the show notes too. I'm
waylaid by my own jackassery.
Yeah. So if you want to get in contact with us, you want to talk about anything, recommend a show, whatever, you can do that at poweronpod@gmail.com. If you want to catch us on Facebook, which is where I'm mostly active.
Yeah, I'm going to see that more than anything, probably.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see the Twitter feed.
What the fuck was the... I'm sorry, it's PowerOn Podcast on Facebook.
PowerOn Pod?
Nope. Don't jump in here. Don't confuse the people. God.
I'm always confusing the people.
The Facebook address is PowerOn Podcast. There's a space there.
Yeah.
And then the Twitter is at PowerOnPod. And then we do like extra shows. Actually, as a matter of fact, I need to get that from you. I haven't gotten that one.
Got what?
The extra show we did. We do extra shows, and I have to upload them because we put them on Patreon for supporters of the show who want to help us out. We make extra shows
for Patreon. So yeah.
I mean,
actually donate.
He
some
doesn't
money
believe that anybody wants to listen to our shows, but if you like them, they're on there. They'll be there for you. That's patreon.com/PowerOn. I think that's it, man. Don't fuck up my reads again.
Your reads.
Yeah, that's what they call them. Reads.
I'm
reading it from my mind.
Oh, God. Memory palace.
Mind palace. You're fucking up. Come on, man.
Isn't it the memory palace?
No, it's mind palace.
Why is it mind palace if it's about memory? Because every door is supposed to be different.
It's because it's in your mind. Now this is Philosophy 101.
It's true.
That's an extra show we'll do. We'll do a fucking philosophy show. Imagine that.
Well, it's the only reason he got accepted into China.
Who?
Dude came up with the memory palace.
I'm thinking about like Sherlock Holmes. What the fuck?
Oh no, the guy who like did this, like the only reason he like helped open up trade to China. He was like one of the only
you know what,
non-Chinese. He got let in because he could read the language, and the way he read the language is because he assigned a different door to each character of the Chinese. we gotta close the show. This is what happens again when we do generalizations.
God,
I started getting too fucking existential and metaphysical.
I know. We're not going to stop doing the dissections. Let us know what you want to hear cut and chopped. We'll do that. Let us know what you want to hear generalized. We'll do that. We're basically your puppets. We dance for you. So let us know what you want to hear. It's time to. This is going to be.
This is C. Dale Novinka. You can catch me at Cathode Visions on Twitter. I'm probably never going to read it. If you actually send me a message, maybe I will message you back. I don't fucking know. I don't even know how that thing works. I'm signing off. How about you?
I read Twitter all day. So if you want to find me, I'm at Dashing Drew Rude. I'm signing off as well. Let's hit the Bat Cave, bro.
Yeah,
let's go to the cave. All right.
What are you?